All right, today guys, I'm going to show you how to put in a steel gate and remove this old one and put a new one in. So let's get to what we need to getting this gate off and getting these posts pulled. All right, so if you come in here a little bit, I'll show you this one. This is actually like about a 1/2 inch. We're just going to take off these old legs. I think this was actually a 13 mil. Just make quick work of it, getting this old one off. These tension rods are just supposed to help kind of keep it from sagging. So it looks like we got a couple Phillips screws. So I'll get a Phillips and take that out. All right, and here we go. And the fence is off, or the gate is off. Okay, so now we're gonna take off this chain link. And these are just like some 9-gauge staples, some post staples. So I'm just using, we call this a cat's paw. Just gonna stick it in there and get it working. Just kind of work them out a little bit. They're not always real easy, but they'll go. Start prying on them. Typically, I would just kind of cut this with like a saw or something with a metal blade, but I want to keep these rounded edges just in case I have enough play when I put on my new 6x6 posts. That we just have enough room for flex and however tight I need it to be. I might even could try to roll it if I need to. Roll it and then re-nail it. But always want to leave yourself a little wiggle room. Don't go ahead and just cut things until you need to. There we go. There's one off. And then I'll continue doing the next. All right, next, I need to remove this. I'm just using just a regular metal cutting blade. There we go. Now they're free. Now we'll get to getting our floor jack, and we're just gonna pull these right up out of the ground instead of digging. I might dig a little bit around here, but as you can see, she's already got her flagstone down, and so we can't really dig, you know, on this side and make a good hole to pull it out, you know, like manually. So we're gonna have to use the floor jack. I'm gonna set it on this pad, and then we'll screw to it, and we'll just jack it right out. So you'll see here in a bit. All right, so I'm just gonna clear off a little bit of this crap, all this mulch and stuff, just to kind of give me a little pass, but I also need to, as you can see, not very strong. I could probably pull this out by hand, but if there's, I don't want to do that, because if there is concrete underneath, I don't want to break this off, because then that kind of ruins my hole of setting a new post and actually a good footing and good concrete. Let's see. So that looked like it came right out. So it wouldn't have pulled out the concrete with it anyways, even if I would have used that floor jack to pull it out. So now the problem is to see if there's actual footing in there or if it was just ground driven. And I'm hoping it was just ground driven. Otherwise, I gotta dig it up. So I'll just make just a little path here, work around it, get some of these decorative rocks out of here. I need to get this metal edging and these rocks out of the way so I can pour my new footing. So I'll be back once I get all that done. Okay, so after further review, I forgot the 6-foot gate that I ordered wasn't in stock, so I went ahead and got 2 4-footers, and we're gonna make an 8-foot double. So these holes are irrelevant now. What I did was I centered this pad, made a mark, and then I just went 4 foot and 4 foot, but then I added an inch. Okay? So center here, 4 foot, 4 foot, but then I'm gonna add an inch So 98 or 96 inches is 8 foot, but I'm gonna go ahead and go 97 from post to post. That's inside to inside. So that gives us enough room for our hinges, our latches, and so we have enough room to have some play here. Because you don't want everything being so tight that it doesn't move, or if it drops just a little bit over time, you don't want them rubbing together. You want to have enough space, make sure that they're locked nice and tight, but enough allowance for movement, okay? So what I did was, come over here. As you can see, these existing posts here, I went ahead and tied a string line from the face of this post. I'm running it across. I did the same over to this post. From face to face, and that'll give me at least a straight, this might not be a perfectly straight run, but from this post to that post, that'll keep a straight line for what we're doing here for such a minimal area. That'll give us still a nice straight line or in plane with the existing posts. So what I need to do is, took my center line, I actually sent a laser up, got a mark at 4 foot, 4 foot, and then and that's close enough to at least transfer that down to make my holes for 97 overall, like I mentioned earlier. And so I'm gonna have to, if you come over here, you can see I went from center of that pad, and here's a mark. I just went ahead and marked over here, and then same thing. It's kind of hard to see, but I made a mark over here. I'm gonna transfer that down, and we'll dig our holes. So, gotta do a little digging. Okay, so moved our holes over. Took a little while. There was some concrete under there, of course. So I did some busting out and figuring how to get it down in there. We got the concrete poured in there. I got some braces here, just to kind of hold it while it's settling. And it's all level. Got it clamped level across here. So this is plumb and level, both sides. This one's gonna have to just kind of run down with the slope, and then the gate will come across basically straight right above here. But tie this in over here. See here, all I did was just basically get it pretty tight to that, and then we'll get it nice and snug up there, back level, and then we'll pin some screws just to lock it in for now. So let me see if I can get this here. I got my depth set just shy. So let's see it. And now, check it. And so me beating that snug in, we'll bring it over just perfect level, because it's in a hair, but I made it so snug that when I beat that in, it's gonna bring it over just a tick to center. There we go. Making sure it's not past the face. Come on now. Nice. And I'll do that with the other side. Then I'll come back and we'll start putting the gate on. Okay, I want to show you how I'm going to set this gate. So, as you can see, this here is the high side that slopes down. So, what we're going to do is pull from the high side. I don't know if you can see this little tiny mark right there. That's just about, an inch up from the ground. And what I did is you can see it's kind of faint. I got a laser here. Got my laser going around. You see that laser line right there? So I just pulled up from that. It was 14 inches. Transferred that over to my laser over here, and then measured down 14 inches. And there's my mark, that black mark right there. That's where I'm gonna set my gate, okay? So when I get my hinges on, I'll show you how I just attach them. It comes with a little kit. And we'll put the hinges on and set it up there, and then just line up the bottom rail of the gate there. And then we'll line the bottom gate over there, and then just attach the hinges to the posts. Okay, so you flip the gate open, or the hinge. You flip it all the way around on the, if you have this similar type of kit, screw it to the rail, or to the gate, 1/2 inch up from the bottom rail, and then the same from this top rail up here, 1/2 inch down, or within 1/2 inch. So I'll go ahead and attach these, and then we'll get it up to the post, and then attach it to the post. Okay, so I want to show you this. Typically they'll give you some kind of little dainty wood screws, but this is not even enough. I don't, honestly, I'm not even sure why they sent these. And you can't use these self-drillers. Sorry, there we go. These little self-drillers, this is what you attach to the metal. Now you would use these to attach this, your hinge, to post, to metal post. But if you're going to wood, of course, you can't use a self-driller. And these, honestly, that ain't gonna cut it. So we're just gonna use some little 1/2 inch lags. These are way stronger. These are, and I mean, these are only 1/4 inch lags, 1/4 inch by like 2 inch, and that'll be plenty. That's way stronger. And I just went ahead and sprayed them just to match, you know, look a little nicer finish. So letting those dry, and then I will attach those to the actual 6x6 post once I get it up there. Okay, so I went ahead and pre-drilled all these holes here. I set it up there. I got that 2x right in line with my mark. Pre-drilled these holes. Got the lags. Went ahead and put one in. You can see I just really set it up there. And since my posts were perfectly level, come take a look at this. All I had to do was lay it up against the pole. You can see there, perfectly level. Okay. So if you do the proper planning and take the extra steps to run your string lines, your plumbs, your braces. Typically I don't even have to run braces, but on these I want to make sure they're perfect because they're gates. So you take the little extra time to do that. And I'll go ahead and just drive these in. Actually, I'm going to grab an extension. I'm going to grab an extension to make this a little easier, but I'll go ahead and get both sides on. And I'll show you once I get the other side on. I'll go off that mark that I showed earlier, and these should just run perfectly in line. Okay, so there we got the gate attached. It's all together. Got the little latch on the back too, as you can see. Now, all we got left to do is I marked 4 inches up just to kind of give this like a prominent entryway. I'm gonna chop these down here and put on some copper caps to match the old copper caps. Yeah, they're a little old and faded, but I'll put some new ones on here just to kind of match and make it really pop. But that'll be it for the night. When I come back, we'll get those, we'll chop those off and put on those decorative caps. There we go, guys. We got the decorative caps on, got the fence all cleaned up. Just used some, I think these are like 12 or 10 gauge staples. And we just attached it back to the side just to close it off. Client didn't want anything too extravagant, any like border boards to go down there. Said just attach it, get it back all hooked together. And yeah, turned out pretty nice.